How to Build Relentless Confidence and Stop Doubting Yourself. Written and published by Audiobooks. Part 1. Confidence is not a trait. It's a system you build daily. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build like a muscle, with repetition, intention, and the willingness to act despite fear. Audiobooks. Most people think confidence is a personality trait. They believe it belongs to the loudest person in the room, the most successful, the most charismatic. But here's the truth. Confidence is not a trait. It's a skill, a decision, a daily discipline. It doesn't matter if you're shy, anxious, introverted, uncertain, or feel like you're starting at zero. You can build relentless confidence, not fake confidence, not arrogance, not hype, but the kind that is unshakable, even when life feels heavy, even when no one claps for you, even when you're still figuring it out. Today, we begin to rewire the beliefs that have been holding your confidence hostage. Why you don't feel confident yet. You weren't born lacking confidence. You were conditioned to doubt yourself. Maybe someone told you you're not good enough. You made a mistake and never forgave yourself. You're constantly comparing yourself to others. You've been rejected, ignored, criticized. Or maybe you've just been too afraid to fully try. Whatever it is, understand this. Confidence doesn't disappear. It just gets buried under doubt. And doubt, like fear, grows in silence and stillness. To reclaim confidence, we must act. The confidence loop. Confidence isn't about feeling ready. It's about doing what's necessary even when you don't. Here's the real formula. Courage, action, evidence, confidence. Courage is doing the thing even when it scares you. That leads to action, which gives you momentum. The result, evidence that you're capable. That evidence builds your confidence. Real, earned and lasting. Most people wait to feel confident before they act, but the 1% act. And that's what makes them confident. Step 1. Separate identity from outcome. You are not your mistakes. You are not your failures. You are not your results. You are what you're willing to learn from and build on. Confidence breaks down when you tie your self-worth to external outcome. You must separate I failed from I am a failure. I got rejected from I'm unworthy. They said no from I'm not good enough. Relentless confidence comes from knowing, even when I lose, I learn. Even when I fall, I rise. I am still growing. Step 2. Rewire the internal dialogue. Listen to the voice in your head. Is it a coach or a critic? The words you whisper to yourself daily are shaping your belief system. Say this out loud, even if you don't fully believe it yet. I trust myself to figure things out. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to be consistent. I've survived every hard thing so far. I can handle this too. Say it until your voice becomes louder than your fear. Step 3. Stack small wins. Confidence isn't built in one breakthrough moment. It's built through small wins. Stack daily. Examples. Waking up when your alarm goes off. Finishing the workout you wanted to skip. Speaking up in that meeting. Saying no when it feels uncomfortable. Following through on your word to yourself. Each win is a vote for your new identity. Every time I show up, I become someone I trust. Don't underestimate the power of small wins. They build massive momentum. Step 4. Take action before you feel ready. Waiting until you feel ready is the greatest trap of all. Because here's the truth. You rarely feel ready to level up. You earn readiness by taking action. Want confidence? Start moving. Launch the idea. Send the message. Apply for the role. Ask for the sale. Speak your truth. Do it scared. And do it anyway. You'll never feel fearless. And you don't need to. What you need is to act in spite of it. Step 5. Rewrite the fear of judgment. Fear of judgment is the Gen 1 killer of confidence. But here's a truth most people forget. People are too busy judging themselves to spend much time judging you. Most of the time, the judgment you fear doesn't exist. And even when it does, it's a reflection of them, not you. Confidence grows when you stop playing to impress. Start acting in alignment. Speak your truth without apology. Trust your path, even when others don't get it. Say this to yourself. I'd rather be disliked for being real than accepted for being fake. Step 6. Make confidence a daily practice. This is not a one-time pep talk. It's a daily rewiring. Confidence is a practice. Just like brushing your teeth, training your body, managing your time. It's daily, repetitive, intentional. Your daily practice might include teeth, 5 minutes of affirmations, 10 minutes of silence, and breath work, writing down 3 wins before bed, making 1 courageous move a day, talking to yourself like someone you love. If I do what confident people do, I become one of them. Step 7. Protect your confidence from energy leaks. Even strong confidence can fade if you spend time around negative people, compare yourself constantly online, consume junk input daily, stay in toxic relationships, betray your own boundaries. Confidence isn't just about what you build, it's about what you protect. Start auditing what drains your energy, what erodes your self-belief, what makes you feel small, then remove it. No guilt, no negotiation. You're just beginning the process of remembering who you've always been, before fear, comparison, failure, and self-doubt buried it. You don't need to become someone else to be confident. You just need to become fully you, without apology, and the path starts here. This isn't motivation, this is a decision. To stop waiting, to stop hiding, to stop doubting, and to start building relentless confidence. One choice, one step, one win at a time. Part 2. Eliminate the fear of failure and build momentum that lasts. Failure isn't the enemy. The real enemy is your fear of it. When you stop fearing failure, you start unlocking your true power. Audiobooks. Let's face it, the fear of failure has stopped more dreams than failure itself ever could. Think about how many ideas, actions, or bold moves you've postponed, not because you weren't capable, but because you were afraid they wouldn't work out. But here's the truth. Confidence is built through failure, not in spite of it. When you shift your relationship with failure, you shift your entire life trajectory. The root of fear. Where does the fear of failure come from? It often starts in childhood. When mistakes were punished instead of treated as lessons. When perfection was praised instead of effort. When we were made to believe that failure meant we weren't good enough. Over time, we internalized the belief. If I fail, I'll be judged, I'll be rejected, I'll lose my value. So we begin to play small. We hesitate, we procrastinate, we hide behind planning and preparation because taking action feels like too much risk. But in reality, inaction is the biggest risk of all. Why high achievers fail more often. Confident people are not those who avoid failure. They're the ones who fail more, because they're in the arena more often. They know, failure is feedback. Feedback is data. Data creates strategy. Strategy leads to success. That's why they move fast. They iterate. They evolve. If I fail 3 times this week, I'll learn more than someone who hasn't started yet. Your confidence grows when you treat failure as fuel, not a finish line. Step 1. Redefine what failure means. Instead of seeing failure as a dead end, start seeing it as a decision point. Old belief. I failed, I'm not good enough. New belief. I failed, now I know what not to do next time. What if every failure simply meant, you were willing to try, you were brave enough to act, you were gathering experience others won't ever have. You win either way. You either succeed, or you collect the wisdom you'll need for your next success. Step 2. Visualize failure, and then neutralize it. Most people avoid thinking about failure, but the elite do the opposite. They run toward it mentally, and disarm it. Try this. Visualize the worst-case scenario. Ask, if I fail at this, what's the actual consequence? Now break it down logically. Would I survive it? Would I still be me? Would I still be able to try again? Then neutralize it with preparation. Ask, what would I do if that happened? Often you'll realize the fear was louder in your head than it ever would be in reality. Step 3. Study your past failures. Confidence isn't just about looking forward. It's also about studying your past, not to shame yourself, but to learn from it. Ask, what did I attempt that didn't go as planned? Tay, what beliefs did I carry into that attempt? What did I learn that I can now apply with more wisdom? You'll start to see a pattern. Tay, failure wasn't the end. It was part of your evolution. It made you sharper, stronger, and more aware. That's how you reclaim confidence, by realizing your scars made you better, not broken. Step 4. Lower the stakes. Increase the volume. One of the biggest reasons we fear failure is because we attach too much weight to any one outcome. We tell ourselves, "Hey, this has to work or I'm done. If I mess this up, I'll never recover. This one decision defines me." That mindset is pressure, not performance. Instead, flip the model. Hey, lower the emotional stakes. Increase the volume of action. This is one of many attempts. This doesn't have to be perfect, just progress. I can always adjust and try again. The more reps you take, the less failure scares you. Step 5. Create a failing forward habit. Want to become unstoppable? Create a habit of doing things that might not work on purpose. Daily micro dares. Tay, send the pitch. Ask the uncomfortable question. Speak your opinion in the room. Go live. Post your thoughts. Share your offer. Try something new without needing it to be flawless. These small exposures to failure inoculate you against fear. Confidence builds through what you experience repeatedly. Step 6. Use failure proofs to train your mind. Create a document or a journal page where you collect your failure proofs, evidence of past attempts, mistakes, and rejections that eventually led to growth or success. Write them out. I got rejected from, but that led me to. They measure forward, not backward. Step 7. Detach self-worth from results. You are not your outcomes. Confidence is rooted in who you are, not what you've achieved. Start reminding yourself, "Hey, my worth isn't tied to wins or losses. I'm proud of myself for showing up. I trust my ability to figure it out, no matter the result." This belief protects your self-esteem in the face of any setback. And when you're no longer scared of failing, you become the most dangerous person in the room, because you are. Final words for part 2. Failure is a doorway, not a dead end. Every person you admire has failed more than you've even tried, but they kept showing up. They kept learning. They kept moving. And now it's your turn. You're not going to avoid failure. You're going to own it, use it, and grow from it. That's what builds relentless confidence. Part 3. Emotional toughness. The hidden key to unshakable confidence. The strongest people aren't the ones who never feel emotions. They're the ones who learn how to face them, process them, and still move forward with clarity. Audiobooks. If confidence is the visible outcome, emotional toughness is the invisible foundation. You can speak well, dress sharp, and project certainty, but when life applies pressure, setbacks, criticism, silence, rejection, your true level of inner strength is revealed. So many people work on their outer image, but they neglect the emotional fortitude required to sustain it. Today, we build that foundation not through denial of emotion, but through mastery of it. What is emotional toughness? Emotional toughness doesn't mean being numb. It means feeling everything and staying grounded anyway. It's the ability to regulate your emotions without suppressing them, stay calm in chaos, make decisions without being hijacked by moods, bounce back faster from emotional pain, keep showing up even when you're buried. It's the skill that allows you to say, "I'm not okay right now, but I'm still in control of my next move." This is not motivation. This is resilience. And it's one of the rarest forms of confidence on earth. Why most people crumble under pressure. We live in a world that tells you to either escape your emotions or express them without any regulation. But confidence lives in the middle ground, feeling it without being ruled by it. Most people have never been taught how to handle discomfort, been rewarded for emotional outbursts or passivity, grown up believing that emotions is weakness. As a result, they either collapse under emotional weight or avoid anything that might trigger it. And that's why confidence collapses at the first sign of pain. But not you. Not anymore. Step 1. Expand your emotional vocabulary. You can't regulate what you can't name. Emotional toughness starts with awareness. Every day, ask yourself, okay, what am I feeling? Where in my body do I feel it? What triggered it? Then go deeper. Instead of saying I'm stressed, ask, is it pressure? Is it fear of judgment? Is it performance anxiety? Instead of I'm angry, ask, am I feeling dismissed, unheard, powerless? When you name it, you disarm it. You stop drowning in emotion and start managing it. Step 2. Regulate before reacting. Emotional outbursts feel powerful in the moment, but they drain your credibility and clarity. Emotional toughness is built when you pause before reacting. Practice this sequence. Feel it fully. Breathe. Get honest about what you're feeling. Label it clearly. Say, this is frustration, or this is embarrassment. That awareness creates separation. Choose your response, not your impulse. Your response, you don't suppress, you process. And that's how confident people stay composed in difficult situations. Step 3. Rewrite the narrative behind the emotion. Every emotion is created by a thought, and every thought is shaped by a story you've accepted. If you feel unworthy, maybe the story is I need to prove myself. Insecure, maybe the story is everyone is judging me. Helpless, maybe the story is I don't have what it takes. Now ask, is that story true? Is it helpful? Can I rewrite it? Try this. Even if I'm judged, I'll survive. I don't need their approval. Mistakes don't define me. Recovery does. Every master was once a beginner. I'm allowed to learn. Confidence grows when you realize you are the author of the story that shapes your emotion. Create a reset routine you can turn to when you're emotionally overwhelmed. Examples: 5-5-5 breath. Breathe in, 4-5. Hold for 5. Out for 5. Cold exposure. Step into cold water or take a brisk walk. Movement, 20. Push-ups. A short run or a stretch. Music. One song that lifts your mood. Journaling. Brain dump your emotion without editing. Talk it out. Call a trusted person who listens, not fixes. You don't need to stay stuck in emotional spirals. Train your system to recover. Step 5. Learn to hold space for discomfort. The most powerful people are those who can sit in discomfort without trying to escape it immediately. When you feel, say, this is uncomfortable, and I can hold it. Why? Because discomfort is the price of growth. If you can stay present during pain, you can handle anything life throws at you, and that builds a kind of confidence no one can take away. Step 6. Protect your emotional energy. Confidence requires emotional boundaries. Ask yourself, who drains me consistently? What habits amplify my anxiety? Which environments shrink me? Now get ruthless. Limit exposure to people who weaponize your vulnerability. Unfollow content that triggers comparison. Avoid gossip, passive aggression, and energy vampires. Your emotional state is your responsibility. Protect it, like your future depends on it, because it does. Step 7. Forgive and release. You cannot build emotional toughness while holding on to emotional poison. That means forgiving the people who didn't believe in you, releasing the guilt from your past, letting go of perfectionism, resentment, and shame. Forgiveness isn't for them. It's for your peace. It's for your focus. It's for your power. Confidence requires a clear emotional field. Clean it regularly. Final words for part 3. You don't become unshakable by avoiding emotions. You become unshakable by learning how to walk with them, move through them, and still lead yourself forward. Confidence isn't built in comfort. It's built in tension, in chaos, in the moments when quitting looks easier but you choose to stay. This part of the journey isn't glamorous, but it's sacred. Because every time you manage your emotions instead of being managed by them, you prove to yourself, I am powerful, I am grounded. I am the one in charge. Part 4. Build identity-based confidence, not validation-based confidence. The most powerful kind of confidence isn't earned from applause. It's built on identity, on who you are when no one's watching. Audiobooks. There's a fragile version of confidence that looks like confidence on the outside, but shatters under pressure. It's built on praise, likes, attention, external validation. The moment you don't get recognized, the moment the feedback is silent or negative, your self-worth starts to spiral. But there's a different kind of confidence, the kind that's rooted in who you are, not in what people think. This is called identity-based confidence, and it's the most unshakable kind there is. Validation-based confidence, the confidence trap. Let's start with what doesn't work long-term. If your confidence depends on compliments from others, social media likes, external results, money, titles, attention, being seen, praised or validated, then your confidence isn't truly yours. It belongs to the opinions and moods of people you can't control. And the moment those external signals go quiet, so does your belief in yourself. This is the trap most people are in. They feel great only when they're winning or being seen, but that confidence fades fast, because it wasn't real, it was rented. Identity-based confidence, the true foundation. True confidence comes from identity. It comes from the story you believe about who you are, especially in silence. Ask yourself, who am I when no one's clapping? What do I believe about me, even when I lose? Do I trust myself even when others don't understand me? This is what identity-based confidence sounds like. I know who I am. I know what I value. I know what I'm building. I don't need to be liked to keep going. You can be humble, silent, even underestimated, and still walk into every room with power, because your confidence isn't a mask. It's a mirror reflecting your inner clarity. Step 1. Stop building confidence around performances. A lot of people live like performers. They walk into rooms trying to say the right thing, do the impressive thing, prove their worth. It's exhausting, and worse, it disconnects you from your authentic self. Here's the shift. Stop performing for approval. Start aligning with identity. Ask yourself, am I doing this to feel seen, or because it's who I am? Would I still do this if no one noticed? Would I still stand by this choice if it made me less popular? Real confidence is doing the right thing when it's not trending. Step 2. Choose your core identity anchors. An identity anchor is a clear internal statement that you choose to live by, no matter what. Examples: I am the kind of person who finishes what I start. I am someone who keeps my word even to myself. I face hard things head on. I don't avoid them. I speak up with courage and clarity. I hold high standards, even when no one's watching. These anchors become your internal compass. You don't need applause. You don't need proof. You just live by your code, and that builds the deepest kind of self-trust. Step 3. Detach confidence from constant achievement. High achievers often tie confidence to their last result. If I made money, I feel worthy. If I crushed the meeting, I feel powerful. If I won today, I feel unstoppable. But what happens when you don't win? Do you shrink? Spiral. That means your identity is fused to outcome, not process. The shift. I'm confident because I show up, not because I always win. Confidence grows when you keep showing up even when, because now you're playing the long game. Now you're building legacy confidence. Step 4. Break the addiction to approval. We're wired to want acceptance, but many of us are addicted to approval. You know it when. Truth to keep the peace. You feel anxious when others don't validate your choices. You over-apologize for simply existing. Here's the medicine. Pause before seeking validation. Check in. Do I believe in this? Speak or act before approval shows up. Practice tolerating the discomfort of disapproval. You'll find you never needed everyone to agree with you. You just needed to agree with yourself. Step 5. Build a quiet inner scorecard. Confidence becomes unbreakable when it's built in silence. Start measuring your growth with a quiet scorecard. Did I keep my word to myself today? Did I act in alignment with my values? Did I lead with courage over comfort? Did I treat myself with self-respect? When your inner scorecard becomes louder than public opinion, that's when confidence becomes your default state. You don't need to shout. You don't need to be seen, because you. Step 6. Normalize being misunderstood. Here's a hard truth most people avoid. If you truly live in alignment, you will be misunderstood. Why? Because most people are living out of alignment. Because standing firm looks like stubbornness to the uncommitted. Because self-assuredness triggers the insecure. But confidence means being okay with not explaining every move, not softening your truth to be liked, not chasing consensus. You're not for everyone, but you're always for yourself. That's where real power lives. Step 7. Train the identity every day. Identity-based confidence isn't something you wake up with. It's something you train. Daily actions. Journal. Who am I becoming? Affirm. What is already true about me? Reflect. What choice today would my future self be proud of? Act. What does the most grounded, confident version of me do next? The more often you act from identity, not mood, not approval, not fear, the more that identity becomes real, and once it's real to you, it no longer needs to be validated by anyone else. Final words for part 4. You are not a performance. You are not a product of feedback. You are not defined by how well others receive you. You are defined by what you decide about yourself. When confidence is built from identity, it doesn't fade when results slow down. It doesn't break when you're judged. It doesn't beg for attention. It commands respect, because it's no longer a show. It's a lifestyle. You now walk with quiet certainty, because the one person who truly needs to believe in you already does. Part 5. Use your body to speak confidence, mastering physical presence. Before you speak a single word, your body has already said everything about how you feel about yourself. Audiobooks. Confidence isn't just a mindset, it's a physical language, and you're speaking it all day long, whether you realize it or not. Your posture, facial expression, tone, pace, and eye contact all send messages before your voice even enters the room. If your body communicates insecurity, uncertainty, or fear, no amount of affirmations can override what people, and more importantly yourself, are perceiving. This part of your journey is about learning to embody confidence, not just to appear strong on the outside, but to align your physical presence with your inner belief. Let's turn your body into an ally, a training ground that amplifies your self-trust and presence every day. Why physical confidence matters. The way you carry yourself creates an emotional feedback loop. If you stand small, you feel small. If you breathe shallow, you think small. If you avoid eye contact, you start doubting your words. But the opposite is also true. When you stand tall, your brain begins to trust you. When you speak slowly and clearly, people pay attention, and so do you. When you hold eye contact, you begin to own your space. Confidence becomes a felt experience, and once you feel it in your body, your thoughts follow suit. Step 1. Master your posture. Let's begin with the most obvious and most overlooked component of confidence, your posture. When you walk into a room, ask yourself, are my shoulders rolled forward or pulled back with purpose? Is my chest collapsed or open and relaxed? Is my spine curved downward or upright and aligned? Adopt the power posture. Shoulders back, chest open, chin slightly lifted, eyes level, arms uncrossed. Stand like you belong. Sit like you've earned your space. Walk like you're heading somewhere important, because you are. Step 2. Eye contact that connects, not intimidates. Eye contact is the quickest way to establish authority or surrender it. But many people either avoid it out of fear or overdo it out of overcompensation. Confidence is found in intentional, steady eye contact, not a stare down, not looking away nervously, just grounded presence. Tips: when speaking, maintain eye contact 70% of the time. When listening, hold soft, present eye contact to show engagement. When in groups, shift between people naturally, not anxiously. Practice with strangers. Hold eye contact in the mirror. Train your nervous system to feel safe being seen. Step 3. Control your breathing. Control the room. Shallow breathing signals panic. It fuels anxiety and shrinks your presence. Confident people breathe from their diaphragm, deep, steady, and slow. This sends a signal to the nervous system. We're in control. We're safe. We belong here. Try this. Before a meeting, conversation, or even a creative task, Pause. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Exhale through your mouth for 6-8 seconds. This centers you. It slows your heart. It clears your mind. It puts you back in command of your state. Step 4. Use grounded hand gestures. Your hands communicate trust, clarity, and power. Unconfident people tend to fidget, hide their hands, touch their face, or close nervously. Confident people keep their hands visible, use open palm gestures, emphasize key points with deliberate, slow movement. Avoid flailing or over-gesturing. It can make you look unsure or desperate for attention. Instead, keep your movements anchored and intentional. Let your hands support your words, not distract from them. Step 5. Speak with calm power. Your voice is one of the most powerful confidence tools you possess. Insecure people rush their words, end sentences with upward inflection, sounds like a question, use filler words constantly. Lower their volume to avoid attention. Confident people pause before they speak, use strong, level tone, speak slower than they think, emphasize key words, end statements with certainty, not doubt. Practice reading aloud every day. Record your voice. Train it like a muscle, because it is. Step 6. Walk like you're going somewhere that matters. A confident walk isn't arrogant, it's present. Don't drag your feet. Don't rush nervously. Don't try to shrink your presence in public. Instead, walk at a steady, grounded pace. Keep your head up. Swing your arms naturally. Make eye contact when appropriate. It's not about being the loudest. It's about moving with clarity and calm, the two most attractive energies in any environment. Step 7. Practice mirror work. Yes, really, it might feel awkward at first, but mirror work is one of the most effective confidence drills. Each morning, stand tall in front of the mirror, hold your own eye contact, speak affirmations with conviction. I trust myself. I show up fully today. I am grounded, powerful, and clear. Notice your posture, expression, and tone. Correct what doesn't align. Rehearse the version of you you're stepping into, because confidence grows not from performance, but from preparation. Step 8. Use clothing as an extension of self-belief. This isn't about being trendy or expensive. It's about using your appearance to remind you of your identity. Ask, does what I'm wearing help me feel sharp, focused, and intentional? Do I feel aligned with who I say I want to become? When you dress for your future, you behave in ways that match it. You walk differently. You speak with more authority. You stop apologizing for taking up space. When I dress for battle, I fight like a warrior. Use this principle daily. Step 9. Anchor yourself to the environment. Physical presence is also about being fully in the room. Many people look down their phones, tap their feet, or bounce their knees. Avoid engaging with the energy of the room. Instead, plant your feet flat on the ground. Sit up, lean slightly forward when engaging. Let your body reflect attention and presence. When your body listens, your mind sharpens. When your mind sharpens, your confidence flows naturally. Final words for part 5. Your body is your confidence partner. It responds to how you think, but even more powerfully, your thoughts respond to how you use your body. If you want to stop doubting yourself, stop walking, breathing, and speaking like someone who's unsure. Train your body to reflect the leader you're becoming. Start today. Stand tall. Speak clearly. Breathe deeply. Move with calm authority. Hold your space like you belong, because you do. Part 6. Build confidence through failure, rejection, and criticism. Back out of work. You don't become confident by always winning. You become confident by learning how to stand tall after the fall. Audiobooks. Confidence that crumbles when life gets hard is not real confidence, it's convenience. The truth is, nothing will test and shape your confidence more than failure, rejection, and criticism. And yet, most people avoid them like the plague. But the top 1%, the relentlessly confident, don't just survive these moments. They use them as leverage. They know the pain you avoid is often the very place your confidence is waiting to be built. In this chapter, we'll teach you how to face setbacks not as threats, but as rehearsals for greatness. Why most people lose confidence after failure. Let's get brutally honest. Most people haven't failed, they've just quit too early. They interpreted failure as a signal that they're not good enough, they're not meant for this. Other people were right to doubt them. They tied their identity to the outcome. So when the outcome was negative, their entire self-worth collapsed. But what if failure wasn't a verdict, but a teacher? What if rejection wasn't a reflection of your worth, but a redirection toward your growth? That shift changes everything. Step 1. Reframe failure as data, not definition. Confidence collapses when you make failure personal. Instead of I failed so I'm a failure, say, I failed so I just collected valuable feedback. High performers view failure as raw information. They ask, what worked? What didn't? What did I now know that I didn't know before? Every attempt is a data point. Every misstep is a lesson. Every closed door forces you to sharpen your keys. Reframe it. Don't run from it. Step 2. Understand rejection is a mirror, not a measure. You will be rejected by people, by opportunities, by dreams you thought were meant to be. But rejection doesn't measure your value. It reflects timing, fit, alignment, perspective. Sometimes it's a mismatch, not a mistake. What confident people believe. If this door didn't open, I'm not broken, it just wasn't my door. Rejection feels personal, but it's often directional. It's saying, not yet, not here, not with them, because something better is forming. Step 3. Learn to absorb criticism without losing your identity. Criticism, when internalized wrongly, becomes a poison, but when received skillfully, it becomes a tool. There are 2 types. Destructive criticism, rooted in projection, hate or ignorance. Constructive criticism, rooted in truth, precision, and potential. Confidence comes from knowing the difference. Ask, is this feedback specific or vague? Is it based on behavior or identity? Is it from someone qualified or projecting? Confident people take the truth and discard the venom. If it's helpful, I'll use it. If it's harmful, I'll use it. Step 4. Create a mental recovery system. Setbacks are inevitable, so build a process to bounce back stronger. Here's a 5-step resilience reset. Acknowledge the emotion. I feel disappointed, embarrassed, discouraged. Name the story. I'm telling myself I'm not good enough. Challenge the thought. Is this true or just triggered? Reframe the meaning. This doesn't mean I'm finished. It means I'm being refined. Take micro-action. Do one small thing to reclaim progress. Confidence returns when you stop spiraling and start moving again, even in tiny steps. Step 5. Share your failures with power. We often hide our failures because we think they make us look weak, but in reality, failure humanizes you. It adds depth, it builds trust, it increases your credibility, especially when you own it. Speak it like this. It didn't work, and here's what I learned. I used to fear failure. Now I realize it was part of the build. That rejection redirected me to what actually fits me. When you control the narrative, no one else can weaponize your past against you. You've already claimed it. I don't need to be flawless. I need to be real. Step 6. Develop immunity, not invisibility. Confidence isn't about becoming immune to pain. It's about developing the muscle to hold it without falling apart. Think of a vaccine. It exposes you to a small version of the problem, so your body learns how to fight it, so the real thing doesn't break you. Every failure, rejection, and criticism is a small dose of emotional weight. Train with it. Get used to the feeling. Let your system adapt. Soon what once felt unbearable will feel like just another rep in your confidence gym. Step 7. Remember your track record. Doubt screams the loudest in the aftermath of failure, so you must fight it with evidence. Keep a confidence archive. Write down every time you bounced back, every win, no matter how small, every moment you felt powerful, every past rejection that led to a better outcome. Review it regularly. Let your past resilience remind you of your current capability. If I overcame that, I can handle this. This isn't toxic positivity. It's strategic remembrance. Step 8. Surround yourself with resilient people. You need voices that remind you. Who models resilience with humility? Who challenges you without shaming you? Confidence grows faster when it's nurtured in community, not isolation. Final words for part 6. Confidence built only in comfort will crumble in crisis. But when you learn how to walk through failure without folding, rejection without retreat, criticism without collapse, you develop something far more powerful than surface-level confidence. You build a resilient identity, one that says, this moment doesn't define me. I decide who I am, and I choose to rise. Part 7. Build self-trust. The foundation of real confidence. Confidence isn't knowing you'll always win. It's knowing that no matter what happens, you'll handle it. Audiobooks. At the core of every confident person lies one thing: self-trust. Without it, you second-guess your every decision. You hesitate before speaking. You abandon your own judgment in favor of what others might think. But when you trust yourself, you stop looking for permission. You stop needing constant reassurance. You become the steady anchor in the storm, for yourself and for others. Self-trust is the internal promise. I will not betray myself. In this part, we will build that trust, layer by layer, through action, integrity, and follow-through. Why self-trust is the engine of confidence. Most people think confidence is about being loud, charismatic, or extroverted. But real confidence is quiet. It's the calm assurance that comes from knowing I can rely on myself. I keep my word to me. I do what I say, even when it's hard. When you don't trust yourself, you overthink small decisions. Avoid risk because you don't trust your recovery. Outsource your truth to other people's opinions. Feel fake when you speak about your goals. Self-trust eliminates that friction. It gives you access to boldness without anxiety. Step 1. Keep micro-promises to yourself. Confidence isn't built by grand gestures. It's built by small, consistent self-respect. Most people lose self-trust, not because of big failures, but because of tiny broken promises. I'll wake up early. I won't scroll for an hour tonight. I'll work out after work. I'll work out after work. I'll speak up in that meeting. And then, they don't. Each time you break a promise, you teach your subconscious, I'm not reliable. So here's the fix. Set smaller, more winnable promises. Follow through, no matter what. Celebrate the integrity more than the outcome. That's how you rewire trust. Step 2. Practice pre-deciding your integrity. Most people decide how they'll behave in the moment, based on emotion, energy, or fear. But confidence grows when you pre-decide. Ask yourself, what do I stand for no matter how I feel? What line will I not cross even under pressure? How does the future version of me behave when it's inconvenient? When you act from decision instead of emotion, you build identity. You stop being reactive. You start becoming reliable. Step 3. Build a bias toward action. Self-doubt loves overthinking. Self-trust is built through doing. Here's a truth most avoid. You'll never think your way into full confidence. You must act your way into it. That means echoing the call, publishing the content, speaking up when you want to shrink, asking for what you want, taking the first step, even while scared. Action builds memory. Your brain starts to say, I've done this before. I didn't die. I'll be okay. That's self-trust in motion. Step 4. Audit your self-talk. If someone constantly criticized you, second-guessed you, and pointed out your every flaw, would you trust them? Probably not. Yet most people speak to themselves like a bully, not a coach. To build self-trust, your internal dialogue must change. Instead of I always mess this up, say, I'm learning how to handle this. I can't do this. Say, this is hard, and I'm still capable. They won't like. Say, if I like me. That's the foundation. Start by catching the voice of sabotage and replacing it with truth. Speak to yourself like someone you're mentoring. Step 5. Document evidence of your growth. Self-doubt thrives in amnesia. You forget how far you've come, how many battles you've survived, how many moments you showed up when it was easier to hide. So build a confidence file. Write down times you followed through on your word, times you pushed through fear, compliments or impact you've had, obstacles you overcame. Review it weekly, add to it often. This becomes a mirror, not of ego, but of truth. It tells your brain, you've done hard things before, you're not faking it, you're building it. Step 6. Use I am statements to reinforce trust. Language creates identity, and I am is the most powerful sentence you speak, especially to yourself. Write 3-5 daily I am declarations. Say them out loud, in the mirror, with belief. Repeat them until your nervous system begins to believe. This is not empty affirmation, it's identity training. Step 7. Reflect instead of regret. Mistakes will happen. You'll mess up. You'll make a decision that wasn't your best. But confident people reflect. They don't collapse. Practice the 3 R's. Recognize. What did I do? Reframe. What did I learn? Recommit. What will I do differently next time? This process teaches your brain, even when I fall, I get back up stronger. Self-trust is not about perfection. It's about consistency in the comeback. Step 8. Be loyal to yourself in public and private. The ultimate test of self-trust is this. Do I defend my truth when it's unpopular? If you abandon yourself for likes, followers, approval, or fitting in, your confidence becomes fragile. So train this. Speak your truth without apology. Stand up for your values. Honor your time and energy, even if it disappoints others. Be the same person in every room. The more you live in alignment, the more your subconscious believes, we've got our own back. That's what confidence feels like. Final words for part 7. You can't borrow confidence. You can't fake it forever. You can't build it by pleasing people or chasing applause. You build it by trusting yourself deeply. When you do. Part 8. Build unshakable social confidence. Even if you're introverted, confidence isn't about being the loudest in the room. It's about being comfortable in your skin, no matter the room. Audiobooks. Social confidence is often misunderstood. People assume it's about being extroverted, charming, or dominating every conversation. But real social confidence isn't about attention. It's about authentic presence. It's about being able to walk into a room without shrinking, vibe up without overthinking, connect without performing, and exit a conversation knowing you were yourself, not someone you thought you needed to be. In this part, we're going to build that kind of confidence, not performative, but grounded. Especially if you're introverted, quiet, or socially anxious, this will serve as your toolkit to thrive in any interaction, without pretending or overcompensating. Why social anxiety steals confidence. If you dread small talk, if you overanalyze every conversation after it ends, if you fear judgment or awkward silences, you're not broken, you're human. But here's the truth. Most social anxiety doesn't come from the people you're speaking to. It comes from the story you're telling yourself before the interaction. That story often sounds like, they won't like me. I won't know what to say. I'll embarrass myself. I'm boring, awkward, not enough. And still your body reacts. You shrink, you speak less, you overcompensate, or you avoid social settings entirely. That doesn't solve the problem. It deepens it. Let's flip that script. Step 1. Rehearse your presence, not your lines. Confident people don't memorize what they'll say. They prepare how they'll show up. Before you walk into a meeting, event, or social setting, ask, how do I want to feel in this room? What energy am I bringing in? Even 30 seconds of deep breathing, body awareness, and intention setting will calm your nervous system. Confidence grows when your presence feels on purpose, not anxious. Step 2. Use the curious connector framework. Most people worry about what to say. Confident communicators focus on what to ask. Here's the rule. Be interested, not impressive. Use this simple 3-question structure to steer any conversation. Follow up with depth. That's fascinating. What's the most surprising thing about it? Relate briefly and redirect. That reminds me of something I read recently. Have you heard of it? Let them talk. Listen actively, respond thoughtfully. You'll appear confident without saying much at all. Step 3. Manage your self-focus. Social anxiety thrives on self-monitoring. To build confidence, you must shift from inward attention to external awareness. Focus on what the other person is saying, the tone of their voice, the opportunity to serve or connect. You'll speak more naturally, listen more fully, and relax into the moment, because it's not about you, it's about connection. Step 4. Break the ice with anchored statements. Avoid generic small talk. Start conversations with anchored comments tied to the setting. Instead of "nice weather, huh?" Try, "This space has great energy. Been here before." Or, "I noticed you were speaking with Sarah earlier. You guys work together." Anchored statements show you're present, observant and comfortable engaging. You don't need a perfect opener, just a real one. Step 5. Speak with calm authority. Confident people don't talk faster, they talk clearer and slower. To develop this, let's pause before you speak. Lower your vocal tone slightly. End statements with certainty, not inflection. Replace filler words, like, with silence. This creates gravity when you speak, even if it's brief. Remember, people don't just listen to your words, they feel your energy behind the words. Speak like someone worth listening to, and they. Step 6. Redefine what impressive means. Social insecurity often comes from thinking we need to be, let's say, the smartest, the funniest, the most extroverted, the center of attention. But the most magnetic people are not always the loudest. They're the most grounded. They don't try too hard, over-explain, apologize for being quiet, chase approval. They own their rhythm. They stay composed. They speak when they have something to say, and they're okay with silence when they don't. Impressive, authentic presence, not performance. Step 7. Handle social mistakes with humor and grace. You will mess up occasionally. You'll say the wrong thing. You'll forget someone's name. You might get awkward or nervous. Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about recovery. Laugh at yourself. Say, "That didn't come out the way I meant it. Let me try again. Names and I have a rocky history. Remind me of yours again. That was awkward. But I'm glad we're past it now." People respect those who can handle discomfort without self-destruction. Step 8. Practice. Don't perform. Social confidence is built like a muscle. You need reps, not ritual. Give yourself small challenges. Greet one new person a day. Start a conversation in line. Speak up once in each meeting. Attend a social event. And aim for 3 real conversations. Don't aim to impress. Aim to be present and genuine. Every time you survive and grow through a social interaction, your nervous system adapts. It says, "We're okay. We can do this again." That's how confidence grows. What conversation did I lean into? What moment did I handle better than before? Even if you just made eye contact and smiled today, celebrate it. Each small social win builds your identity as someone who can. That's what matters most. Final words for part 8. Social confidence isn't about changing your personality. It's about trusting your presence. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to remove the layers of fear, overthinking, and comparison that are hiding the real you. And that version of you, calm, grounded, curious, is more than enough. Part 9. Overcome imposter syndrome and own your inner greatness. Tiku. You're not faking it. You've just outgrown your old identity and haven't fully stepped into the new one yet. Audiobooks. Imposter syndrome is one of the most common silent struggles among high-potential individuals. Ironically, the more you grow, the more it whispers, "Who do you think you are?" Whether you've achieved something great, stepped into a new role, or dared to pursue your dream, imposter syndrome can creep in and make you doubt your worth, competence, or readiness. But here's the truth. You are not an imposter. You are a learner, a leader, a human being doing something bold and unfamiliar. Let's break the illusion. Let's destroy the myth. And let's help you own your power fully, no matter the room you walk into. What imposter syndrome sounds like. Imposter syndrome often hides behind internal dialogue like, I don't belong here, I'm going to be exposed as a fraud, I just got lucky, they overestimated me, I have no idea what I'm doing. It's a mental virus that rewrites your reality. Even with real accomplishments, imposter syndrome tricks you into believing you're still pretending. But the question is not, how do I get rid of it? The better question is, how do I move forward powerfully even with it? Because courage is not the absence of fear. Confidence is not the absence of doubt. It's the decision to lead anyway. Step 1, normalize it. You're not alone. Almost everyone experiences imposter syndrome at some point, including CEOs, creatives, surgeons, artists, coaches, founders, authors. The more ambitious and growth-minded you are, the more likely you'll feel like you're ripping into unfamiliar territory. That's not a sign you're an imposter, it's a sign you're expanding. Feeling like an imposter doesn't mean you're incapable. It means you're in the process of becoming. So breathe, you're not broken, you're evolving. Step 2, separate feeling from fact. Just because you feel like a fraud doesn't mean you are one. Feelings are data, not definitions. Ask yourself, what is the story I'm telling myself right now? Is this based on truth? Or is it rooted in fear? If I were mentoring someone in this same position, what would I tell them? Chances are, you'd remind them of their preparation, effort, progress, and results. Give yourself the same grace. Step 3, gather your receipts. Confidence needs evidence. Imposter syndrome thrives in selective amnesia. It focuses only on where you lack, never on where you've already won. So create a power file, a document or folder that includes praise or feedback you've received, milestones you've achieved, challenges you've overcome, testimonials from people you've helped, wins that prove your capabilities. Review this regularly. You're not guessing your worth. You're reminding yourself of what's already true. Step 4, understand competence versus confidence. You can be competent and still lack confidence, especially if you're comparing yourself to experts who've done it for 10 years. You're holding yourself to a perfectionist standard. You're equating effortlessness with worth. Here's a mindset reframe. Even if I don't feel confident yet, I can still deliver value. Competence is built through experience. Confidence is built through repetition and reflection. You don't need to feel 100% ready to be 100% impactful. Step 5, redefine authority. You don't need to be the best to be valuable. You only need to be one step ahead of the person you're helping, leading, or serving. You don't need 20 years of experience. You need honesty, skill, and care. Let go of the idea that redefine it as authority, consistency, and ownership, credibility, integrity, and follow-through. Confidence, trusting yourself to figure things out. Step 6, let success feel safe. Sometimes we resist confidence because we've unconsciously linked success to danger. You may fear that if you rise, people will resent you. If you shine, you'll become a target. If you own your power, you'll lose relationships. So you sabotage your confidence in order to feel safe and accepted. But you're allowed to be confident. You're allowed to own your greatness. You're allowed to outgrow old spaces and still carry compassion. Practice saying, it is safe to be seen. It is safe to succeed. It is safe to shine without apology. Step 7, use imposter syndrome as proof you care. The fact that you feel this way means you care deeply about doing well, about earning your place, about staying in integrity. That's not weakness. That's responsibility. Use that care as a fuel, not a cage. Say to, I'm feeling nervous because this matters to me. I'm doubting myself because I'm stretching. I'm uncomfortable because I'm growing. That's how you transmute doubt into drive. Step 8, lead through the fear. The ultimate move is this. Do it anyway, even with shaky hands, even with a pounding heart, even with the voice in your head whispering, you're not ready. Do it anyway. Every time you take bold action in spite of imposter syndrome, you shrink its power, and over time, your identity starts to evolve. I'm not a fraud. I'm just someone with humility, and guts. I don't need to know it all. I just need to show up fully. I trust my work to speak louder than my fear. Final words for part 9. Imposter syndrome isn't a sign you're a fake. It's a sign you're doing something meaningful. But you don't have to let it run the show. You can normalize the feeling, question the false story, gather your truth, lead with imperfect courage. And when you do that, over and over, confidence will stop feeling like a performance and start feeling like your natural posture. You'll look around one day and say, I didn't fake it until I made it. I faced it until I became it. Part 10. Confidence under pressure. How to stay grounded in high-stakes moments. Tics. True confidence isn't tested when everything is going well. It's revealed when everything's on the line. Audiobooks. In this final part, we're going to anchor your confidence in the one place it truly matters, under pressure. Anyone can feel confident in quiet moments while journaling, visualizing, planning. But real-world confidence is measured in the moments that demand courage. Critic. Speaking up in a tense room, making a high-stakes decision, delivering under a deadline, navigating failure in real time, performing when all eyes are on you. The difference between those who collapse and those who rise is this. They've trained for the pressure. Let's now train your mind to stay calm, clear, and confident, no matter the environment. Pressure doesn't create weakness. It reveals training. When you feel yourself shrinking under pressure, remind yourself this isn't a flaw. This is feedback. It's a signal, not that you're broken, but that your inner environment needs strengthening. Pressure doesn't invent insecurity, it amplifies what's already there. So our goal isn't to avoid pressure. It's to build an identity that thrives in it. Step 1. Master your internal state before anything external. Before you can influence the room, the vision, the project, you must lead yourself. When pressure hits, your nervous system may tighten your breath, flood your thoughts, speed up your speech, trigger a survival response. In that moment, ground yourself with what we call the 3C, reset. Calm the body. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Exhale slowly for 6. Do this 3 times. Command your thoughts. Repeat. I am composed. I am capable. I am clear. Center your attention. Shift from what could go wrong to what I can control right now. You are not your anxiety. You are the one observing it and choosing your next move. Step 2. Prepare your identity, not just your skill. You can have the right skills and still crumble if you haven't built the identity that matches them. Before the big presentation, negotiation, or challenge, ask, who do I want to be in that moment? How does the confident version of me show up? What posture, tone, rhythm, and mindset would I adopt if I trusted myself fully? Visualize that version. Dress like them. Speak like them. Think like them. When pressure hits, your brain will default to the most rehearsed identity, so rehearse powerfully. Step 3. Anchor to purpose, not outcome. Pressure often stems from attachment to a result, to validation, to perfection. But when you shift from I must win to I must serve, your body relaxes. Say to yourself, I'm here to deliver impact, not to perform for applause. Anchor to why this matters. Speak from truth, not from performance. Deliver value, and let go of needing to control the outcome. That mindset frees you, and paradoxically, it makes you more magnetic and effective. Step 4. Practice micro-stress exposure. The best way to build confidence under pressure is to train it in low-stakes environments consistently. Examples: pick up in meetings when you'd normally stay quiet. Ask the uncomfortable question. Volunteer for a visible role. Record yourself practicing high-stakes moments. Simulate pressure by rehearsing with a timer or EG. The goal is not perfection, it's conditioning. When your nervous system is exposed to discomfort frequently, it begins to interpret it as familiar, not dangerous. That's how you become unshakable. Step 5. Use pre-performance rituals. High performers across industries, athletes, artists, speakers, all use rituals to prime confidence before big moments. Create your own. Here's a sample. Thekas. Stand tall. Power posture for 60 seconds. Breathe intentionally. 4-4-6. Pattern. Visualize. See the outcome. Feel it in your body. Speak a declaration. I was built for this moment. Tap into gratitude. I get to do this. This simple sequence tells your mind, we're ready, and your body will follow. Step 6. Reframe pressure as privilege. Most people dread pressure. Confident people reframe it as proof they're growing. Pressure means you've been trusted with something important. You're stepping outside your comfort zone. You're playing at a higher level. So say, I'm feeling pressure. Good. I'm in the right place. Pressure is where diamonds are formed, where leaders are born, where identities are forged. Don't resist it. Respect it. Rise through it. Step 7. Own the recovery, not just the performance. Even confident people fumble. They say the wrong thing, miss the mark, get off track. But what they've mastered is the bounce back. When you falter under pressure, don't collapse into self-doubt. Instead, reflect with kindness, recalibrate with clarity, recommit with courage. Confidence isn't about always winning. It's about how fast you return to center after you fall. Every comeback strengthens your foundation. Final words. You've built something unbreakable. If you've made it this far, you've done more than listen to a book. You've trained your inner world. You've developed self-awareness, identity clarity, emotional regulation, mental discipline, a relationship with pressure, a pattern of action despite fear. This is relentless confidence. Not surface-level hype, but deep-rooted self-trust. Remember, you were never unqualified, just under-conditioned. You were never broken, just untrained in power. You were never faking, just stepping into greatness before it felt familiar. You are now the kind of person who trusts themselves fully, speaks with conviction, moves through discomfort, shows up with strength, calm and purpose. Let this become your default, not your exception. You are not here to impress. You are here to express, to impact, to lead, to rise. And from this moment forward, you will never again apologize for being powerful. Thank you for listening to How to Build Relentless Confidence and Stop Doubting Yourself. Written and published by Audiobook. Your transformation begins every time you choose to own who you already are.